If you look across some of the most successful boutiques, big and small, around the world, and you ask yourself, what do they have in common? The number one thing I often find is that they have a thriving community. It's not just about you as a boutique owner selling products to people or hoping someone walks in off the street, but you have a tried and true community that you have curated and cultivated and built, often in a Facebook group or in a highly engaged Instagram audience over time, maybe even TikTok. Today, we're going to dive into what it takes to build an authentic community, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit different way than maybe you've heard in the past. You see, I'm really excited today that my friend Anais, the founder of Pretty in Pink Boutique, is going to be joining us. Anais is from Texas and has a highly Hispanic audience going back to her own Hispanic heritage. She has one of the most inspiring stories of how she built her business and some real words of wisdom when it comes to building her community, staying true to herself and to her mission and to her brand, and really overcoming at all odds. She is someone who I really admire for her authenticity in this episode and just her way of sharing with what's happening in the boutique industry right now, where there are so many that are struggling. Her words of advice that if she can do it, anyone can do it. You guys get ready to meet my friend Anais. You are going to love this episode. Let's talk about your business, strategy, and the juicy details of what actually works, from mainstream fashion to fashion on Main Street and the entire ecosystem behind it. How do we scale your company and do it with the balance and the happiness that we all seek? Let's hear from those insiders, experts, and strategists that actually make it happen. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. You're going to want to listen to this one. I'm so excited for this. Anais, thank you so much for being here today. You have been a part of the Hub for such a long time. How many years have you been in the Hub?
I'm going to say this is like my fifth year.
Yeah.
I could be lying, but I've been here for a while. I love the Hub.
Oh, I love that you've been in the Hub for a while. You've been a part of our mastermind. I have loved watching your journey unfold. So I'm so excited for you just to tell us your story today. There's so many lessons wrapped up in this. So take me back to your boutique story. What was your founding story? How did you get into the business?
Okay, yes. Well, hi guys. My name's Anais. That's the first struggle. No one can pronounce my name. I'm the owner of Pretty in Pink Boutique, and it all started 8 years ago with just a dream, pretty much. I am originally from Mexico, and I married my husband about 15 years ago, and we moved to the smallest town. It's called Eldorado, Texas. And 2 years into marriage, I was getting bored. We weren't planning any family yet, so I started working at Dollar General. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
It's like a small little store. That's all Eldorado had, pretty much, just a Dollar General. And that was my first job ever in the USA. I loved everything about retail. That's where, it's crazy because, Dollar General is not much fashion, but I just love the customer experience, the facing the store. I don't know. It's crazy. Every time I tell people, they're like, "You're crazy." But that's where it started. I loved it there. I worked there for a whole year, and then just my schedule wasn't working out anymore. I left it behind. I've always been very creative, so I started making handmade jewelry here and there. And next time you know, I had a full bag of like a duffel bag full of jewelry. I was just selling it to my family and friends. Then Facebook started getting popular, so I'm like, why don't I post it on Facebook? Next time you know, I was selling everyone on Facebook. I was shipping out packages, which I didn't even know how. I had to learn. It was new, but it was exciting. Then I just told my husband, like, why don't we open a store here? Like, we don't have no fashion stores. El Dorado has probably like 2 restaurants, and that's it. Um, he's like, you're crazy. Like, let's keep supporting the necklaces. You're doing great. And I'm like, no, but I feel like, El Dorado people deserve a little fashion store. You're like, I mean, I support your dream, but there's no way. Like, I don't want to get your hopes up and then, that's not going to work here. I remember asking other family and they're like, it's a great idea, but it's not a work, that's not going to work here. I've seen people come and go for like restaurants, which is something that everyone likes to like, that they're hungry all the time, but I don't know about fashion. After that, I kind of just let it go, but in my mind, it was still there. I was researching, trying to find out how to open a store, asking for the places that were, how much the rent was, and all of that. I mean,
Mm.
we lived in a little mobile house, a little trailer house. So we didn't have money to start up or anything. So it was just like me and my dreams, pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, Next thing you know, I convinced them. I brought everything together and I'm like, look, this is how it's going to be. This is how much it's going to cost me. All I need is your credit card because I have no credit. um, After he saw it all, he's like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to support your crazy dream and we'll go from there. And that's where Pretty in Pink started in the smallest little um, room, and I probably bought like 2 packs of clothing, and the rest it was just stuff that I would buy for cheap and resell it. I would buy a shirt for $3 and restyle it, and then I would sell it for 15, and that's just how I grew, like from nothing, literally. Um, Coming into COVID, we blew up. I came from being my own boss and my own employee to like 10, 15 employees. I had to relocate to San Angelo, which is like 45 minutes away, just because there wasn't enough space, for me to have my store. So from there on till today, we're still inside the mall. I love to be there because the foot traffic, and I've always dreamed of having a warehouse, but I'm not ready to 100% close my storefront. So,
Yeah.
the space is really big. We're on a 4,000 feet store, and we have like a warehouse on the back. And I've
Mm.
rent out other, I rent another spot there inside the mall for all my stuff and for my live videos. So, one day I feel like I'll probably move out, but for now, that's how it's been working.
That's
And I
incredible. I
guess,
mean, that's a lot of 4,000 square feet is awesome, plus
yes,
warehouse space for your lives. Just so everyone's on the same page with just your revenue streams. So brick and mortar, but you do lives and you ship quite
yeah.
a bit in commerce, right? So just help me understand, like maybe a percentage wise, like is it equal, do you think, your online and your in-store sales, or is one definitely bigger than the other?
I feel like pre-COVID, it was like 80% online,
Mm,
20% storefront when I was in Eldorado, just because, I mean,
yeah,
the foot traffic there, I
yeah.
would sell maybe 3 things every month. Like, when there was a special occasion, I was booming, but other than that, it was just online. Now that we have a storefront and like recently, right now, I think
Mm.
uh, it's 50-50 right now. Yeah.
You, that is incredible.
Yes, it's
Well,
it's insane.
when you got started, you and I were just having this conversation about just the trials of starting up.
Right.
And I think something we take for granted in America is you can Google so much of it. It's
Yeah.
there, easy, right? But if you
Yes.
don't necessarily speak English, there's a challenge, right?
Yes,
And
there
so
is.
tell me, like, when you first got started, was that a challenge for you? Was finding that information tough? Or is that kind of how you came across the boutique hub at that time? Or what helped you like get your footing when you came to your husband and you were like, dude, this is the plan. This is where we're going.
No, yes. I feel like for us Mexicans, it's definitely harder. If you starting a boutique here, you face 10 obstacles. I probably faced 50.
Yeah.
And English is one. Till today, I probably say stuff that doesn't make sense. But I've always been like very passionate about it and a person that doesn't give up. So when a door was just closed right in my face, I kept knocking somewhere else and kept researching. And I feel like at first that was a challenge. My English wasn't so great. And the research, you Google something and like a million things pop up and you're like, well, which one's the right one, So, I had struggle after struggle after struggle. I did bump into Boutique Hub, but that was till 2 years later, and I feel like that's when we started to thrive because I started understanding a lot of the stuff that I was just kind of floating in the air and didn't know, you know? Once I joined the hub, I definitely recommend it. It's all in one, like everything's there. I have listened, believe it or not, to every single one of your podcasts,
Oh,
and I admire every single lady. I would never thought I would be here at all. So when I saw the email, I was like, oh my goodness, no way, how? I never
yeah.
thought I'd be here, so it's definitely an honor, and I feel like that was very helpful for me.
Mhm.
There's big words I didn't understand, but like when you're passionate about something, you research, you Google. I would ask my husband, at some point, he's been very supportive all the time, but I feel like at some point he thought I was delusional. So I'm just like, you know, I the obstacles are many, but I feel like if there's a passion there and there's something that you really want, you just go for it and you keep going because I definitely fell like 20 times and got back up and like, okay, this is the wrong way. I gotta go back and go another way. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how that works, and when you're on that side of the I mean, in Mexico is a complete different story, so coming to a new country, with the so-called American dream, it's hard, it's very hard for us.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a big I just really admire your resilience, like the grittiness that you're talking about. We
Yeah,
all what is this saying, Anais? Tough times make tough men,
yeah,
right?
very yep, that's it
And
right there.
I just think that I think we all need to learn to embrace the suck
Yes.
because it just is really what grows resilience in all of us. And I was just
Right.
thinking about this, about just what you're thankful for, right? As you near the end of the year. And, this year, I hope that this imparts on everyone to think about being grateful for the challenges in our life. I think our
Yes,
society has gotten just so cushy and
yes,
so comfortable that the second that things get just a little bit tough, we all
and start
fold,
out, yeah.
just give up. And I mean, like, God, let's dig deep, right? We all are capable of so much more than we even realize.
Very,
I
yes,
mean,
and
that's exactly what your story is.
yeah, I feel like if you're the other saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." I feel like if something knocks you down, that just gives you more strength, and you're like, "Man, I failed at this, but I'm gonna come back up, and I'm gonna make it 100 times better than it was supposed to be?" And
Yeah.
that's how I look at things all the time. Like, man, this didn't work out. Let's keep going. Our lives for some point were horrible, and I still to this day I have a small group of live viewers, but they are my besties and they show up every time and they shop. And we communicate and we have that community. And it's not all Hispanic. You would say, well, yeah, she has all the Mexicans on her side. No, it's a lot of them are just love me for who I am and I love them for who they are, and it's
Yeah.
just magic. I love that about the community.
I think what you said is so important is community. I think that if you were to look across, the world really, and you say,
Yeah.
what do these most successful small business retailers have in common? It's that they've built a sense of community around your brand. So I want you to reverse engineer that for me. Take me
Okay.
back to like when you moved to San Angelo
Okay.
and the storefront grew and you were doing lives. And I don't
Yeah.
even know if you're doing like actual live sales, or if you were just going live, but tell me about how you built the community. What did you do that brought people together and made them feel like, oh, these are my people. This is my home.
Right. Okay. So I want to say my biggest strategy was just back then Facebook was showing you everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, we started with giveaways, and a lot of people with giveaways join just because they want the free stuff. From there, I was just myself. I joke a lot. I say funny stuff, and um, I'm just I'm just very confident about what I'm gonna show them. I love styling, so I'm
Yeah.
always honest. Like, I have 3 kids. this is gonna show your stomach, your muffin top, Um, if you're not ready to show that, don't wear this. This is great for if you're chasing your son, or this shoe is good, if you're Mexican, we get spanked by the chancla and you're gonna get it. This the sole's really sturdy on that. And I feel like whoever enjoyed that stayed,
Yeah.
and whoever it wasn't for them, because you're not I learned during the years, I used to get very sad because I'm like, oh, this person doesn't like me, or I don't fit in here, because I've always felt like a triangle trying with all the squares. So for some reason I just let that go, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm gonna be the coolest triangle here. And
Love it.
that I feel like whoever wanted to stay stayed, and that's how we started building this community, these people that follow me, and that like to be around me, because they like my silliness, they like my honesty, and that they know that I'm not gonna lie to them just because I want to sell a product.
I love that. A friend said to me the other day, and this, what you just said reminds me of it, but she said, I can't be everyone's cup of tea, but I
Like,
can be someone's shot of whiskey.
yes.
And your point, like sometimes you have to repel the wrong people in order to attract the right ones by just
Yes.
being brutally honest in who you are and so authentic. I love that.
Yes, yes, I feel like that has worked for me since day one, and I've stuck to it because, I mean, what is a job to go and try to pretend someone you're not? You're not gonna feel comfortable, you're not gonna love what you do. And I mean, this was something that I didn't think it was gonna grow this big and that it was gonna feed my family. But now that it does, like, I put my heart and soul into it because I'm very thankful of the people, my customers and my employees and whoever, the thrive that helps you run this place.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not a
Now,
one person thing.
I've got to know, I've met your husband. Has he been on live with you as well?
Oh yeah, he he recently started helping me out, and it's just crazy because the way he describes stuff is just like insane, but I feel like people just laugh at it, and he's been doing great. Um, he left his job behind, and we've been, working together, and we love it. We get to bring our family around and enjoy a little bit more freedom of what used to be. So just breaking all those, what we grew into seeing, and that we just kind of live paycheck to paycheck to just see this whole thing that you've built. And it's insane. Like, sometimes I don't take enough credit for it. um and it never hits me that I actually, people stop me and they're like, oh my goodness, I know you from somewhere. I've had people travel from very far away just to come to my store, and that just, I'm very proud of that. I'm thankful for the people that actually acknowledge the whole thing going on, the whole work that goes into it.
As you should be, for sure. Hey, it's time to save the date for our next Boutique Summit, the largest conference for our industry, just for boutique owners, e-commerce stores of all types, and wholesale brands. June 9th and 10th, coming back to Dallas. We can't wait to see you there with several speakers, tons of breakout sessions, your very own private trade show. Did I mention swag? Plus an opportunity to network with retailers just like you, ready to scale and grow your business. You guys, we plan the Boutique Summit on the front end of the market happening at Dallas Market Center, so you can really get the most bang for your buck when you're traveling. Attend the Boutique Summit, stay for market, learn as much as you can, buy as much as you can, and get ready to grow and scale your business. June 9th and 10th, click the show notes to sign up, get the information, and save the date right now. What would be some of your best advice for someone who's getting started and they're wanting to go from the stage of, okay, I have this idea, I've started it, I'm making it work, but what's your best advice to get them from that point to making it really sustainable and something that you're like, okay, I know it's going to grow into the future. I feel like it has its process, right? And
Yeah,
I've got it all figured out. What's your best advice to get from that stage to the next?
I feel like the best advice for me, and I'm giving this to my sisters because I am the oldest of five sisters. Seeing them grow and just trying to figure out what they're gonna do with their life. I always tell them, like, if you want something big, if you want something nice, if you want something you're proud of, it's not gonna come easy. It's definitely gonna require you to work 10 times harder than anyone else, would do it. If you want something big, if you're, you know, striving for something that you're like, man, I want to be like that person. I feel like it's just work. Don't give up. Work hard, sleepless nights because I did that. Um, Sometimes it doesn't work out, but that doesn't mean it's over. Like, keep going. Don't stop there. And if one I always say if it doesn't work one way, it's gonna work another way. So you just have to go to it's like a maze. You're kind of just going in blind and of course if you have the knowledge, that's very important. So I always say, like, try to learn as much as you can from it. I feel like I didn't know anything about retail, but I've done pretty much every single thing that there's in the hub, and I've learned so many things from there. I don't even have to like look anywhere else. Everything's there. So I am, a person that says just you just have to work hard. Work hard, play hard, and you're gonna get it.
I
Yeah.
love I love it. There is still, I feel like some people have really shied away from like, oh, but ease and abundance, right? There is a
Yeah.
place for that, but it will never replace what it takes sometimes just to dig in and do the hard thing.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. I always say that. If it's easier, you'd have everyone here, but it's not. Nothing's easy. Unless you went for and even then, like if you go I mean, college of course is very important. But even then, you can speak to anyone there. They're gonna tell you this is a hard course. I'm struggling. But hey, not everyone's there. Just you're doing it.
Yeah.
You're the one that's gonna get the reward at the end of that, phase.
Absolutely. So let's talk about this. This year, just business in general, the economy, it's been tough for a lot of retailers. How do you feel like you've taken this mindset of just like dig in and do the hard thing? And if it's not going to work one way, it's going to work another. How have you taken that into this year and this time and made it work for you?
Right. Yes, this year was definitely hard for me. I feel like I'm used to making all the money now without even trying, after you build everything structured how it's supposed to work, and
Hmm.
this is the job and I just show up and it gets done, and sales, let's go. But this year, like, sales weren't there. Everything, kind of just shut down. I don't know, the people just stopped shopping and I started freaking out. It's definitely what I've just been doing is again just learning, researching in my quiet time, in my alone time. If there's no sales, I'm figuring out what's working now, because if it's not working for me, there's people out there still that are working. So what are they doing?
Yeah.
What they're doing is what you have to jump into doing, because it's either that or you're going to lose it. Because, fashion and anything else just updates and you have to stay up to date. And if,
Mhm.
TikTok is working, then guess what? I'm on TikTok now. If, I don't know, events are working. I don't know how to create events, but bring it on. We're definitely going to make an event. It's just that if you sit down and just cry and, and say, well, this is not working, then it's not gonna work. God's not gonna be like, you're my favorite. I'm gonna make it work for you. No, like, let's figure it out. We gotta get out of there and we gotta figure it out because people are still gonna buy. They still need an outfit for Christmas. They still need an outfit for Thanksgiving. But are you standing out or are you at the bottom just, waiting for a miracle to happen? I feel like it's just let's get up and put some work, and that's what I've been doing every day, just working hard and showing up.
I love that. What would your advice be? You and I talked about this a little bit before we even
Mhm.
started recording. I know, just that watching you overcome and grow and just continue to put one foot for the other. I know you said just in the Hispanic community alone, you have so many people say, wow, how'd you do this? What would
Yes.
your advice be to your friends that are in the Hispanic community that are like, man, I thought my opportunity was only here, but
Yes.
my opportunity is here. What would
Yeah.
you tell them as they're starting to embark on their dreams?
I feel like I always say it, sky's the limit. And if you come into this town like me, you don't know English, you don't have money, you're the new person in town. Um, that doesn't mean that you're less. And I feel like I felt like that forever. I just felt very tiny. Even going to like one of your summits, it, the whole just looking at everyone, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's only gringos in here, all white people, like, what am I doing here? What am I fooling around,
Yeah.
Um, it's just that you just I feel like to my Hispanic community, all I have to say is that we know how to work hard. So why aren't we doing it in the right places, We know how to get down. So let's get down, but in the right place where we can just continue to grow and show that not all Mexicans come here to steal, and not all Mexicans come here to sell drugs. Like there's good Mexicans like me that want to
Oh,
work hard and want to earn the money the right way and I want to change that. I know it's going to take more than one person, but I want to change that visibility that we work hard and we want a place just like everyone else.
yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. I'm so on board with this. Like, I feel your heart when you say that, and that's
Yeah.
painful. Man,
Yes.
that's a burden that so many of us don't know. So,
Oh,
um,
yeah. I feel like even,
yeah,
like, storefront,
yeah,
dealt with a lot of racism. People have gone in there and just be like, I wanna speak with the owner," and I'm the owner, and then they don't wanna accept that. They're like, "No, like, the real owner," and I'm like,
that's me.
unfortunately, that's me, and they try to bring me down, but like I said, it's gonna take more than just that. Like, I know my worth, and I feel like we're used to hide, and I don't wanna hide. Like, I wanna show them what we're made of and that we love, the country. I'm
Yeah,
here because I love the country and I love everyone around me, and I love the friends that I've made through the boutique hub. They've all understanded me, and I've never felt like I'm less, and I feel like that's awesome. That's how I want everyone to feel, not just me.
yeah. Well, I can guarantee you, you are equal in everyone's mind here at the Hub. Our community, our team, we are so thankful you're here, and
Thank
we welcome with open arms anyone who might feel like they're
you.
different, right? That's
That
not what this is about.
in general, yes, in general, you know, I feel like it's a free country, and we should all treat ourselves equally.
I love it. And it goes back to, just your mission in retail of no matter
Yes.
who walks through that door for you in your community, everyone has an opportunity to feel beautiful and special. And everyone has to put clothes on for Christmas, for Pete's sake, because it's illegal to be naked and no one
Yes.
wants to see that anyway. So more opportunity than we know what to do with, right?
Exactly. I mean, I have, my regular girls go in there and they're like, "We love the Aztec print. We love the serape print. We love these boots that you brought. We love these hats that you picked, like the colors you put together." And they're not Mexican. They're not Hispanic. They're just, regular Americans, and I love that. That I can be a mix of everything. That I don't have to like say,
Yeah.
"Oh, well, only Hispanic people come in here." No, it's just like this is open for everyone, and I speak Spanish, and I guarantee you that if a lot of boutiques had someone that speaks Spanish, they would have a lot more following because sometimes it's just hard to communicate, letting them know what we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, so I want to ask you about that because I think, and I'm not sure in your lives, I should have asked you this, if you always do you typically speak English or do you often speak Spanish? And the second question is if someone's listening and they're like, you know what, I have a big Hispanic audience in my community. Like maybe they already shop with me or maybe they don't. But what could other boutique owners that are listening, how could they better serve the Hispanic population in their own communities? Is there something that they should be doing or looking for or providing? Or maybe it's someone just to help the bilingual aspect of it. But how do you handle your lives? First question. And then what advice would you give to them on how to serve the Hispanic community?
Okay, so my lives are in English. I initially started doing English and Spanish, but believe it or not, the following was more in English, and just translating was taking a long time. The people that pretty much watch her lives know English and Spanish. So I do what I named myself Spanglish. I kind of mix it. And I mean, American people know what tamales are and stuff like that. The chancla, the stuff. It's just a little mix of everything. And then I always offer them like we speak Spanish. If you have a question, you can let us know. Sometimes they message us, in Spanish, and that's where we communicate more.
Mhm.
Um, and then, like, my advice to boutique owners that have that following, especially if you're here in Texas, I feel like there's a lot of Hispanic following. I would just like make your signs, like we're hiring, or if have like a sell, maybe translate it, even if it's in a smaller version in Spanish. Have someone that speaks Spanish in your store. Um,
Mhm.
Sometimes they're trying to ask for something, or they want to buy something, and it's hard because they're like, well, nobody understands me, so probably not going to work out, or they can't find a number. It's always, if you especially if you have a storefront, I feel like having someone that speaks your language gives you more confidence than just having the looks and they're like lost and you're lost too. um, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's definitely, even a little sign that says we speak Spanish too. That welcomes in a lot of people that will probably never step in your store. They will come in, and I mean, Mexicans are big spenders, so they're gonna buy. If they want an outfit, they're gonna go from head to toes to your store, and they're gonna give you their hard worked earned money because they want to look good.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
it. Love it.
yeah,
Well, Anais, as you think about, I know you've got 3 kids, right?
right.
As you think about the future, and I'm just going to fast forward in your mind, 20 years down the road, and you're sitting on the front porch with your husband, and your kids are now grown and they have children of their own, and you're walking through this amazing journey you've been on, your journey to America, your journey to start a business, your journey of service in so many people's lives.
Right.
As you look at that journey and you speak with your grandkids someday, what's the thing you really want them to remember the most about you and how you live?
Oh gosh. I want my grandkids to say, "My grandma ate the bread and left no crumbs." Just kidding. No, but seriously, I want them to be proud of me. I want them to be like, "She paved this road that wasn't here," and she opened some opportunity for us. She was hard worker, and she
Mm,
put all her passion into what she did,
yeah.
and that transformed into this, and we want to be inspired by my grandma. We want to do the same. Even if it's not on the fashion world, on the boutique world, it's, I want them to feel proud of their roots and make something out of nothing, just like I did, because that's my main, uh, that's what I'd feel really proud of if I ever hear someone say, she really tried and she never gave up, and she did it. She stand out in the crowd. Um, I remember doing this post of my old store in Mexico, because I even had a little store in Mexico, and then posting the new one inside the mall, and the amount of shares and the comments of just the Hispanic community just cheering on, of just showing that, we have an opportunity. It was insane. I literally broke down when I saw that, and till this day I'm thankful that I'm here for that. I'm all here for that.
Man. Well, usually when I ask that question to people, they're the ones that cry, not me. And you've got me crying. So, oh, I love it. I am so thankful for our time spent together today, Anais, and just for the light that you are in our community. I can remember seeing that post, by the way. I believe you shared it in the house
Yes.
because I remember seeing it. So
Yes,
this is
yes,
still just the beginning for you. This is still early, and I
yes,
can't wait to see where everything goes next. You
yes,
guys,
yes.
if you're listening, make sure, I'm sure Anais will be at the boutique summit again. So check her out.
Never miss
Sarah,
one.
messages.
Never miss one.
Yes. Awesome. Well, Anais, thank you again for your time today. Beautiful story.
Thank you
So much.
so
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope that you loved it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a rating and review down below for a chance to be one of our featured listeners each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and how to access complete show notes and bonus downloads from our guests, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.